was just remembering this song. Arise, shine, for thy light has come. Arise, shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen. The glory of the Lord is come. The glory of the Lord has risen upon thee. I was just remembering that. I was reading something about the banker's secret manual, and he had a lot of scripture in there, and I thought, whoa, I want to read that. So let's just go there. Let me see if I can share the screen. Well, let's see. Okay, here it is. Let me get rid of some of these other screens. I want to get rid of some of these other screens out of the way first. Clear up my little desktop here. Okay. So he was talking about, this is page 6 and 7, 8. This is before the acknowledgments and all that stuff. I think that I'm backtracking. Here I go, reading things backwards again. But I saw this. It was reminding me of something. Let me see. Should I see if I can go back one more? Okay. This is the forward. I thought this was kind of good. Right here. This is the one. Let me see it. Command plus. Yeah, baby. Learning how to do this. This is for educational purposes only. And not legal advice. And let's see. Tom Schaff, he's the one that wrote this book. So let me just see here. This is kind of interesting here. In the forward to Tom's second book, The American Voters versus the Banking System, Tom says, I know God called me to get the banking message out to the nation. I do not claim to do this from my power, but rather from the authority, power, and provision of Yahuah's anointing in my life. Since March of 1998, I began reading Tom's books, and listening to his audio tapes, and frequently heard Tom on shortwave radio as I tried to get alternative news about what's really going on in this country. After confirming Tom's information by my own research and participating in Tom's weekly conference calls, it became apparent that it was time for me to take an active part in assisting Tom in his calling. In a recent phone call with Tom, he wondered why he had been missing some important financial exchanges in his most recent venture. He realized that Yahuah wanted this manual completed first. It appears to me that Yahuah is ready now to begin the fulfillment of the vision described in Habakkuk 2. Now listen to this. This is not boring. This is something that we shall all listen to. Then Yahuah answered me and said, record the vision and inscribe it on tablets, write it down, that the one who reads it, me, may run. For it is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it, for it will certainly come. It will not delay. So this is talking about record down the vision and the plan, inscribe it on tablets or the internet or, a book or a piece of paper, that the one who reads it, us, that we may run. Okay? So that's the plan. Anyways, be the proud one. His soul is not right within him. Oh, behold. Don't be the proud one. Behold the proud one. His soul is not right within him. Will not all of these take up a taunt song against him, even mockery and insinuations against him, and say, Woe to him who increases what is not his. For how long? And makes himself rich with loans. Will not your creditors rise up suddenly, and those who collect from you awaken? Indeed, you will become plunder for them, because you have looted many nations. All the remnant of the peoples will loot you, because of human bloodshed and violence done to the land, to the town and all its inhabitants. Habakkuk 2, 1 through 4, and 6 through 8. All right, let me reduce this so I can go to the next page. One more. Now, over here. Okay, so check this out. It's kind of interesting right here. Let's get it big so everybody can see it. This is good. Is the collapse the World Trade Center and the collapse of Enron, both major financial powers in America, just a coincidence? Or is the living creator allowing these events to occur to prepare the way for his remnant, us, to spoil their financial slave masters, just as they spoiled the Egyptians before they left Egypt? Question mark. Certainly the credibility of the certified public accountants and auditors has suffered a major blow. Americans are beginning to realize that they need to demand a full disclosure and a complete accounting. Well, let's see the documentary evidence, please, and the gap, generally accepted accounting principles, from those who are supposed to be protecting their financial as well as political interests. So the timing of the Secret Banker's Manual from Tom could not have been better. Perhaps this is part of the fulfillment of Isaiah 41:15. Behold, I have made you a sharp threshing sledge. Sorry about that. I had to answer the phone. Okay. No, wrong one. Don't want to do that one. Okay. Hang on a second. Share screen, okay, preview, Secret Bankers Annual. I did this already, but why does it keep showing it? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, cool. All right, I got it. Where was I? Okay. Okay, so we were reading about the fulfillment of Isaiah 41:15. Behold, I have made you a new sharp threshing sledge, an instrument, with double edges. Sounds like a piece of paper. You will thresh the mountains, rock, paper, scissors, and pulverize them, and will make the hills like chaff. That's the New American Standard Version. That is a actual version of the Bible. Since today's slavery is mainly accomplished by written contracts and laws of men, hey, paperwork, I guessed it right. This instrument is most likely is a paperwork solution. Oh my God, I'm getting it. Using Babylon's own paperwork system against them, thou shalt go to Babylon. So in there, wow, these guys, amazing. Look at how they're putting this, going to Babylon. It's statutes. Wow. UCC, USC, CFR. There shalt thou be delivered. That's the solution, to go to those and read them. Micah chapter 4, 10 and 16. Thou didst pierce with his own spears the head of his throngs. You know, this kind of symbolism stuff is like going over my head a little bit, but it's talking about you pierced with your own paperwork the head of his throngs. It could mean that. So just how important is it that we act on this manual, this one right here, that what I'm reading, and tell our friends about it? Micah 6 shows that God is, or Yahuah, is angry with us for not doing something about this financial caste system and will strike us down with sickness and poverty. Come on, you've been feeling depressed? A little bit kind of weary? What does it say? Hope deferred makes the heart sick. And then, I mean, come on. You got a lot of money in your checking account? What's the deal? Well, like poverty? Unless we act to expose and correct this fraud and injustice. I'm liking this. I'm really liking this here. I'm liking what I'm reading here. Notice Micah. This is a book in the Bible. It's a prophet. Chapter 6, 1, 2, and then 10 through 16, the New American Standard Version. Hear now what Yahuah is saying. Listen, you mountains, to the indictment of Yahuah. Because Yahuah has a case against his people, is there yet a man in the wicked house, along with treasures of wickedness, and a short measure that is cursed, abominable? King James Version. Can I justify wicked scales and a bag of deceptive weights? For the rich men of the city are full of violence, unrighteous gain. Wow. Never really thought of violence being unrighteous gain, but yeah, it is. Because when you look up Strong's, the word 2555, unrighteous gain. That's violence. So her residents speak lies, breach contract. Yep. See that up here? Strong's 8267. And their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. So true. You know, you go to the car dealership, you try to apply for some car and you sign your name and they just took your application and went to the Federal Reserve window and got the credits for it. And then they're like, oh yeah, you don't qualify, so go your way, little peasant. And they steal your credits. We got to get those back. I got to write some abandonment. No, non-abandonment. An affidavit of non-abandonment of credits. Give me back my credits or put it back in the treasury into my account. That's what I'm going to have to do. I have to claim it. Okay, so check this out. So also, like if we just keep letting this stuff, look, we can't let this stuff go on. Because right here it says, so also will I make you sick, striking you down, desolating you because of your sins, you know, missing the mark, not doing the stuff I tell you to do. You will eat, but you will not be satisfied, not enough to eat. You will sow, but you will not reap. Slavery. Therefore, I will give you up for destruction. Because Yahuah is upset with the fact that we know what's going on now that we know what's going on, and we're not doing anything about it. You know, like if a righteous man does nothing, they're just agreeing with it. We can't be agreeing with this stuff. We got to do something. So let's put it this way. Since the remnant is prophesied to be doing this work of spoiling the money masters, if we are not involved doing that work, then we are not part of God's Yahuwah's remnant. So says Habakkuk 2, chapter 2. So here's the word, arise, arise, shine, for your light has come, people. Wake up, the light is on. Yeah, And you better be home. Yep. Better be home. Better be waking up. Arise and thresh. Time to go thresh. Micah chapter 4, verse 13 is the enlightened battle cry of this remnant, consecrating the gain and substance to Yahuah of the whole earth. Those who are part of the remnant are not selfishly focused on going to court to get out of their own loans. They're focused on Yahuah's end time work of correcting the system by removing the fraud, enabling everyone to have full disclosure and equal protection under the law so that no one is damaged by theft or counterfeiting, which debases the currency, right? Yeah. The living creator cares for all peoples on the earth and has no pleasure in the death of anyone. Ezekiel 18:32. You know what that means? Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel in the Bible, chapter 18, verse 32. Has no pleasure of death of anyone. So likewise, we need to care for everyone and not be like Jonah. Oh, you know Jonah and the whale? You know Jonah, he was a prophet and he was called to Nineveh to go and tell those people to repent. And he's like, they're not going to listen to me. I don't like those people. I'm just going to go on vacation. Yeah. And he gets in a boat. All of a sudden, storm starts to happen. They throw him over and they go, yeah, it's because of you. You're the one. I'm the one this is why we're having a storm. They throw him over. Then he gets swallowed by a whale or a big fish. Yeah. And then, he's in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. And then he looks like crapola, like, no makeup. His hair's all washed out and he looks white everywhere because of the stomach acids from the fish. And then he gets spit out onto the land. And well, he looked scary like me right now. How scary, right? Just saying. So then he said to the people, repent. And what did they do? They repented. Then he was pissed off. He's like, shoot, man, I really wanted those people. I wanted them to be destroyed. And they repented. Well, okay, let me just see. That's the story. But anyway, let's see. Likewise, we need to care for everyone and not be like Jonah, who only cared for himself and how he would look if Yahuah did not wipe out all of the people of Nineveh for their sins, as Jonah had prophesied. Yeah, because he was like saying, you guys, you guys are lazy and you're just evil. Like God's gonna destroy you people, because you're not repenting. And he wanted that to happen. Sometimes we're like, oh, I wish that person would get in a car accident over there. They're stealing from me. So evil. I can't believe I told them to not use my stuff and they're stealing from me. They don't even care. Oh, there's an ambulance around the corner. Oh, well, maybe yeah, that's kind of how we can get like, huh? I know I've had those thoughts myself. Anyways, so Isaiah 52, 1-3 shows that it is time now to awake from being drugged. Oh, the chemtrails were being drugged by the fluoride and all the hormones and all the stuff they're injecting. So, and dumbed down by the television, which I don't watch the television, but there's enough stuff now on YouTube, huh? Anyways, to shake off the dust, the dead wood, the dead stuff. You know that Christmas tree that you chopped off and made it dead wood? What's it good for? For the fire. It's chaff. Like the wind's gonna drive it away. It's gonna light up in fire. So shake off the dust, the brainwash of mass media propaganda, to rise up and sit down, rule, and to loose yourself from the chains around your neck, the fraudulent contracts. You were sold for nothing, and you will be redeemed without money. If your promissory note was stolen, or your application was stolen, this manual will set you free by exposing the truth of the loan agreement and giving you notices, hey, to demand full disclosure of the bookkeeping entries. Oh man, I just want to go skip all the way to the end of this book. Some people of other faiths may be turned off by the biblical references in this foreword and in this manual. Nah, this is understandable. But let's take a look. The disinformation and misinformation that abounds in today's civilized and enlightened world about creation versus evolution, and the wars and exploitation that occurs in the name of religion. You can see an article at freedomnews.com/evolution.html. I can only ask that you be open to the possibility that a living creator does exist, and to be tolerant and respectful about our convictions about this, even as we believe in a creator who is a God of truth, trust, courage, and freedom, and who respects everyone's free moral agency. Habakkuk 2, that's the prophet Habakkuk, and interesting. Habakkuk. I had a neighbor whose last name was Kook. I wonder if it has to do with that. Habakkuk. Interesting. 2, declares a vision of a spiritual remnant of Yah's people, of all nationalities, rising up suddenly as creditors to collect what was stolen from them by the deceitful international money masters of this end-time generation. It is a vision for an appointed time, that's now, that will certainly come, it will not delay. It is prophesied to occur before the Creator returns to the earth. Those who read it should run, not procrastinate. We believe the appointed time is now. I agree. And that by your reading this manual, you will have an opportunity to become a part of that remnant with all the glory and credit for what is accomplished going to the living Creator who makes all things possible. Douglas Raymond Stelling. All right, so I'm wondering, okay, so that's the acknowledgments and then the introduction. I believe I already read the introduction. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh, wait. Chapter 1 was, it was chapter 2. That's what I read. I read chapter 2. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so I did read chapter 2. So there's chapter 3. All right, well, let me read chapter 3, okay? Because I already read chapter 2. Did I read it all? I don't know. All right, let me just see what this says. Chapter 3, like man plus. All right. Additional laws and strategies. You may want to look at the following laws. Fair Credit Billing Act. Okay, wait. And the Fair Debt Collection Practices. Fair Credit Reporting Act. 15 USC 1681. I have this right here. Okay, I need to read this thing. I need to read that. Is this the same? Fair Credit Billing Act and Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This one says Fair Credit Reporting Act. Is that what is this the same thing? I don't know. Tell you, I hate it when it says fair, it says credit, but it says reporting act. I need to read this. Thank you, Wonder Bee, for sending me that book. Okay, so now let me see. Look at the words validation. Oh, and verification in the law dictionary. Oh, yeah. Validation and verification in the law dictionary. Okay, gotta get a law dictionary. You guys got Black's Law Dictionary? What dictionaries do I have here? Dictionary. Let me see. Webster's. Let's see if that's gonna say anything. What is it? Validation? Let me just look. Let me just see what Webster says, you know. And I don't know that this is, you know, a law dictionary, but this is like what they give all the little people's. UV. Okay, what am I looking for? Validation? Let me just see. I just want to see what it says here. Validate. To make legally valid, to prove to be valid. Let me look at verification. Verification. Verify. Okay, verify. Let's look at that. To prove to be true by demonstration, evidence to confirm, to test the accuracy of. Truly. Verity. Truth. Reality. Okay. So, all right, I did those things. Let me see now. All right, so let them by affidavit, tell you that you owe the money. Oh, and what the terms and conditions are. What? You know, when we get those, what do they call it? Terms and conditions for, you know, member agreements. I have some questions about the membership agreement. You know, regarding the terms and conditions. Can you verify? Please verify and give me validation and show me validation that I owe a debt. Can you give me a debt validation? They're going to say, yeah, look, did you go to those places? You went to all these places here, Costco, Walmart, this place, blah, blah, blah. See, did you like get all those things? Did you buy those things? See, that's what they're going to send you. They're going to send you that, your statement. But no, what you're out here asking for is tell you that you owe the money and what terms and conditions are. So study the rules of evidence. They must show you each item charged that they claim you owe, not just a total debt. I know, they send you that thing. And no standard agreement is easy to prove. See UCC 8. We'll write that down. UCC 8, 315, Federal Rules of Evidence. Rule 1003. About not allowing a copy as evidence. Argue the authenticity of the copy. Demand the original. What? Look up under state law for lost or missing notes. Huh? Study the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rules 27. What is this? Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Rules 27 and 28 to get depositions. Whoa. To get deposition, heavy duty. What's going on? Study declaratory relief judgment to invalidate the contract. So you got to study declaratory relief. Well, when you got a declaratory judgment, that's got to do with going to court, people. You know? I don't really want to go to the courts, but I'm just saying. To invalidate the contract. Read UCC 3-308 about the proof of signature and status as the holder in due course. Proof of signature. Like, I know we sign stuff when, when we go over there and buy the things with the credit cards. And status as the holder in due course about denying signature in pleadings before trial. What? Or else the judge assumes it is your signature. Huh? Giving authenticity to the promissory note, which means you agreed the bank lent you the money as agreed. This is such a stretch. Study hearsay evidence. Oh, because the bank lent you money. Oh, yeah, right. Right, well, they lent us credits, not money. Right? Right. Then study hearsay evidence. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So the debt collector, who is an attorney, oh, does it get to that point? Yikes. Of course, they use hearsay evidence because they weren't there, What the credit card company, a third party, said to collect. Oh, okay. One person kept objecting in court as the debt collector talked, saying, "Objection, this is hearsay evidence." The judge allowed the debt collector to testify. The judge asked if this was hearsay, and the debt collector said, "Yes, it is, because I wasn't there." The judge threw out all of the evidence because it was hearsay. The debt collector has no evidence under the rules of evidence to collect. So the alleged borrower won by objecting to hearsay. The judge may say, "Take judicial notice." This means the banker can bring in a copy of the note unless you object. Look for court cases that say that the party who wrote the agreement has the greater burden of proof explaining the agreement. Okay. I have heard that part, when they're the ones that are setting up the system or what have you. Oh, I gotta let my dog in. He likes to go outside too, a little bit. Okay, come on in. Up. I'm not gonna do that right now. Come on. Can't do a WALK at this moment. Reading something. I'm trying to understand this angle here. Okay, I'm getting what they're saying. But hold the phone. Let me see what it says exactly. So this means the banker take judicial notice. The judge may say, "Take judicial notice." This means the banker can bring in a copy of the note, unless you object for hearsay. Look for court cases that say that the party who wrote the agreement has the greater burden of proof explaining the agreement. If you are not willing to do your job and homework, do not expect the judge to help you. Oh man, yeah, this is, I gotta have some balls here. You have to help the judge help you. Do not expect the judge to rule against the banking system. He wants to keep his job. Only discuss breach of agreement and how they change the cost and the risk and concealed material facts. Ooh, yo, concealment, GAAP. Hey, let me see your books. Give me the ledger. These are things that you might want to go over and discuss with your legal counsel. Have fun. Get a group of people together for a seminar. Put together a mock trial with a mock jury. See how it sounds. What would the voters decide? Voters? You mean the jury people? That's cool. That's why I haven't been called for jury duty, because I rescinded voting. Yes. Would they rule in your favor or the banker's favor? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they would rule in the banker's favor for sure. One bank answered our admissions document admitting that they follow GAAP, which is a generally accepted account principles. I know, that's what they do. And that they follow Federal Reserve Bank's policies and procedures. Another admission statement was the intent of the alleged agreement was for the consumer to provide the money that the bank would use to fund the credit line or loan. The bank denied this. Oh. Wow. Wow. What have the credit card companies been doing to stop lawsuits? They changed the rules. Oh my goodness. Don't you guys get those notices and say, we are amending our policy agreement? Yeah. They can change the policies and procedures by simply mailing you the changes. So they changed the rules requiring you to go to arbitration, right? Or sue them in a state court 1,000 miles from your home. That's wild. One party told Tom that he signed an agreement forcing Tom into arbitration. Tom told the arbitrator that the alleged document agreeing to arbitration was a forgery. Oh, so there is no agreement allowing the arbitrator to arbitrate. The arbitrator was told that if he did arbitrate, that Tom would sue the arbitrator for damages. The arbitrator refused to arbitrate. The arbitrator knows that the bank is paying him and keeps getting money from the bank. So who do you think that the arbitrator will rule in favor of? Hello. The banker knows that the bank won before it got started. It is like hiring the fox to guard the chickens. The chickens are dead in that deal. To win, to really win, requires that we get the voters to agree with us. I think he's talking about those jury duty people or the voters. If not, the courts will not be the answer. They would just change the rules against us. This is not intended as legal advice. Okay. Yeah, because that's a lot of work, man. This is only to show you the historical information per telephone calls to Tom from people claiming success. We cannot guarantee success. Of course. The intent of this manual is to show you the law and allow you to be the judge and jury. If you agree with Tom, help us win our nation back to the truth, not by going to court, but by helping us to get the voters to join us so that we become the lawmakers, so that we control the judges, sheriffs, and bankers the legal way through the vote. Oh. Command, I need to reduce this down. Let me see. How do I do that? Okay. Yeah, I don't technically want to do any of that. Yeah. If you go to court and get out of your loan but we do not use the vote to win the nation. I don't know if our votes count. The bankers' politicians will demand national ID. Oh, to enslave you. Is that why they're wanting that? So what good is it winning in court if we lose the nation to the bankers? You could get many others to join us who could help us get 10,000s. Yes, you can make a big difference. If we do not do anything, they will go to a cashless society. Whoa. When was this book written? This was written like a long time ago. And look at that. Look at how they're saying that. Giving them total control over you. This is the time to win back a nation to the truth and stop slavery. We expect the bank to change strategy in 2003. Yeah, well, it's 2024. So this was written a long time ago. The new bankruptcy law will mean that you cannot cancel your credit card debt. They will simply garnish your wages and foreclose on your house after they force you into involuntary bankruptcy. Ask your legal counsel about demanding proof of the debt in bankruptcy. Hey, that might be your best defense. So research, please. Look up these in court cases. Because the note in question was not payable to order or to bearer, the plaintiff payee did not hold in due course. Oh, pay to the order or to bearer. Pascal versus Tardera, 1986, 123 AD, 2D, 752, 507, New York State, 2D, 225. Where an instrument is neither payable to order or bearer, no one can qualify as a holder in due course. Oh. Key Bank of Southeastern New York. Stober Brothers Incorporated, 1988. 136 AD. 2D. 604, 136 AD. What? Somebody out there? Okay, so that was interesting. Who? This is what bankers fear. My dog is hearing something. Okay, so what? Okay, so let me skip over here. Ah. The American people are too stupid to figure out what we have done to them, and they will never be able to explain this in court. Yeah. Tom said to the controller, "You know that all your bank loans are a fraud." Without hesitation, the controller agreed. Tom said, "Aren't you afraid that they will go to jail?" The controller responded, "No." He then explained how banks create money and that he who owns the money controls the judges, lawmakers, and the media. He explained how advertising money, loans, and direct bank ownership, and how the bankers' political contributions control the politicians and the laws, and how money controls the media. If a politician votes against the bank heavily funds their opponent, of course, next election so that the bank politician wins. Oh, all the politicians know that they need the bank's media and money to get elected. Okay, he even boasted how the bank controls the FBI. Get the idea why they took away rights if they call someone a terrorist? He then said, if someone put together a brochure and passed it out in mass, I would immediately permanently leave this country. If the American people ever figure out what we have done to them, they would put all of us bankers, judges, sheriffs, and lawmakers in jail. He then laughed and said, the American people are too stupid to figure out what we have done to them, and they will never be able to explain this in court. That sounds like how Obama said something like that about the American people are dumb. He let Tom know how foreclosures are very profitable, and when the bank helps the judges, politicians, and sheriffs get the profitable foreclosures, yep, The government agents and the bankers' pocket have very profitable investments. The bankers and politicians call it good business. They represent their personal investments, not the people that elected them. Currency trading is also very profitable. Some government agents helping the bankers get 100% profit a month on their investments. He explained how the government agents sold their souls to the bankers, all for the love of money, which is the root of all evil. This is why it's critical to get as many websites set up and get out the emails. Help us sell the books. Wait, where do we go? Where are we? Wait, what happened? And get the voter angry enough to talk to his or her friends. The book sales help us raise the money needed to win the nation back to the truth. Okay, so as Tom conducted CPA, continuing education seminars to CPAs and lawyers, a number of bank auditors told Tom that it was a fraud. The auditors tried to get Tom to swear to secrecy about the bank money creation and how it controls the government leaders and judges. Obviously, the bank concealed this part of the agreement. From past telephone calls, people have let Tom know that in court, bankers hate it when you ask for adequate assurance of due performance. Better write that one down. When you write your letter, we're going to ask for adequate assurance. Can I have adequate assurance of due performance? By wanting assurance that the bank purchased the note from you and did not deposit the note. Oh. Did the bank purchase the note and not deposit the note? Oh. Into my account. You know how sometimes they go, look, all that money, we put it in your account, right? Sure. Okay, wait. That the bank purchased the note from you and did not deposit the note. Ooh, boom. If they did, they were violating the GAAP, which is the generally accepted accounting principles, matching principle, requiring the new liability to show that the bank owes the depositor, you, money for depositing the note. So the bank owes the depositor, right? The bank owes the depositor, me, money for depositing the note. I think this is the same thing with the car dealerships. You know, when I filled out the application, they went to the Federal Reserve window. They got the full amount of money, and then they just took it. I forgot to mention, per the banking law, if the bank deposits the note, they must give you a deposit receipt. See 12 U.S.C. A, section, excuse me, 1813. Did they give you one? No. History shows that in court, bankers hate it if you claim there is no bona fide signature on the note, that the note is forged. The note was stolen, and the value of the stolen property was returned as a loan. Yeah, breaching the agreement. So what's the pattern here? That's not a bona fide. That's not a bona fide signature on that note. What else? That note is forged. That's kind of wrong, don't you think? The note was stolen. Well, for sure. I know, I could say, the note was stolen for sure. For sure. Yeah. And the value of the stolen property was returned. Where's the value? What value did I get out of this? What value and benefit did I get from my application? This is something that I can say to the cars dealerships for sure. Because I know I had signed the application because I wanted a car. Just saying, that's my signature. So I can't say that the note was forged, but they just stole my property. And then they try to return it as if I was doing a loan, breaching the agreement. Bankers knew that the stolen property funded the alleged loan. Yeah. Bankers know that the stolen property, the stolen property, my application, funded the alleged loan. Was to fund. That's the question. Anyone in the banking industry buying the note knew what the agreement said and what the bookkeeping entries were. They knew, and now they want to pretend that they do not know what you're talking about, you crazy person, you. The bank violated the banking law, GAAP, is only required if a CPA audit opinion and if the bank is FDIC insured. See United States Code, annotated Title 12, Section 1831. Yeah, banks borrow. N2A, right here. Write that down. Title 12, Section 1831. N2A. GAAP is proven by Federal Reserve Bank publications showing the bookkeeping entries and confirming everything Tom has said. The bank is in trouble if they admit to following GAAP. Or not following GAAP. I gotta say that again. If they do not know what the bookkeeping entries are, they cannot prove that they performed under the agreement and funded the loan to you. That's the part right there. They're going to have to like shift command 4 because this right here is going to be the one right here. Boop. Just saying. They didn't give you full disclosure, right? No, they didn't. All right, so what else do we have here? So that is what we want to talk about. The attorney debt collector is to know the law, GAAP, and what the agreement is. State law says banks are to purchase the promissory note. Is that right? Is that right? State law says banks are to purchase the promissory note. They deposited the note and did not give you a receipt. They deposited the note and didn't give me a receipt unless, unless my application receipt isn't a receipt. Per Federal Reserve Bank publication, Modern Money Mechanics, page 6. The bank opened up a checking account under my name and deposited the note. Modern Money Mechanics. Modern Money Mechanics. Page 6. That's what they said right there. Then the bank withdrew the money from your account without your knowledge, permission, or authorization, and returned it to you as a loan. That's what they did. Then the bank, ooh, that's good. Then the bank withdrew your money, my money is my money, from your account, from my account, without my knowledge, permission, or authorization. Woo. And returned it to me. As a loan. This is good. I gotta write this. Modern Money Mechanics, page 6. Okay, so now, if they took your cash from your savings account and did this, you would call it fraud. The economics are essentially the same using a note instead of cash. They made an exchange of money for money and charged you as if there was a loan. They perform the services of a money changer. Oh, right here. Remember when Yahuah turned the tables of the money changers? Whoa. They perform the services of a money changer. They performed the services, yep, of a money changer. You, yep, and charged you as if there was a loan. Dang, I'm just saying right here. They performed the service of money and claimed that they were a lender. Dang. And claimed that they were a lender. Boy, charging you 100% for the transaction plus interest. Oh my gosh, you're right. Charging me 100% plus interest. That's true. Dang. That is why nearly every American is in debt up to their heads and sinking quickly. They cannot tell you if money is cash or a bank liability owing money. Look at the law for definitions of a deposit. A deposit is an unpaid balance of money that the bank owes. Really? Oh. Unpaid balance. This is the definition of deposit. Unpaid balance, whoa, of money that the bank owes. Okay, these are some things that you can write in a letter. Look at the law for definitions. A deposit is an unpaid balance of money that the bank owes. A negotiable instrument must be paid in a certain sum of money. So how can the note be money? Oh, and owing money at the same time. Boy, right here. Whoa. It cannot be the opposite of two definitions at the same time. Let's go over that again. A deposit is an unpaid balance of money that the bank owes. I'm making a deposit of $100 into the bank. So the bank is going to owe me that $100 back. A negotiable instrument must be paid in a certain sum of money. So how can the note be money and then owing money at the same time, right? Because there's two different things. Gotcha. I gotcha. They have two things. It's duality. You fill out the application. Then they have you sign another contract. Two different things. And then they go, look over here, you signed the C, but yeah, but what about over here? This is like a magic trick. What about that left hand? What happened over there? Okay, I get this now. Oh my gosh, the bank cannot explain what money is and bookkeeping entries, but they charge you interest for the use of borrowed money. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're charging me interest for the use of borrowed money. Charging me interest for the use of borrowed by them money. Chicken scratch. For the use of borrowed money. Whoa. Oh my gosh. So they wrote the agreement. Have them explain it. Yeah, that's right there what we need to say. You wrote the agreement. Can you explain it, please? Explain it and why I owe you money? Boom. The banker's own secret manual. That is truly for the bankers. Shows that the bankers hate it when people claim fraud in the factum. Fraud in the execution. It's totally fraud in the factum. In the execution. It's exactly. So what do we got? Remember the law in USC Title V Administrative Procedures Act. Administrative Procedures Act. Title V. Gotta look that up. The nation is bankrupt. Oh, yeah. So we are under administrative law, and that is the law of notices. Oh, remember how the IRS and the banks always give you a notice? You need to do the same. Notice them asking what the terms of the agreement are. The agreement that they wrote. When they refuse to tell you, the theory is that you can claim fraud in the factum. That's good. Obviously, the banks fear Tom's court admission. Admit or deny, forcing them to give you full disclosure. Please give me full disclosure. Tom has a real concern. People want immediate gratification to become debt-free. People want to sue and wait 6 to 12 months, hoping to win. Then people say, if I win, I will tell my friends about the bank. If they wait, they will never win the vote. The vote is more important than the court. Please stay out of the court and concentrate on getting hundreds of people to join us before taking the time to consider the court. Court is risky, yeah. It's true, man. Time consuming and costs money to hire a CPA expert witness. You could spend thousands of dollars, wait 6 to 12 months, and lose if you do not do the courtroom procedures correctly or if the judge is bribed. Yep. If we all concentrate on the vote, we're sure to get out of debt. The vote is the only way to assurance to reclaim a nation. If hundreds sue the bank, they might just change the law to keep you in debt. The vote is the solution, not court. We get hundreds of CPAs and lawyers joining us. Okay, so this manual is only giving you Tom's theory. This manual is not intended as legal advice. Anyways, I'm going to quit for now. But just thought, I would read a little tiny bit more. And yes, I'm a little weathered today. The weather is weathery as well. And no, that's not snow. That's my white trailer. But it is all covered up clouds. The clouds are gray up there today. See that? And it was raining. So yeah. So yeah, you know, one of those days where I just gotta read, gotta read, gotta read. You guys read as well, and let's meet together. Please subscribe and like down here. It's not costing you anything to just push the subscribe and like button and share it. And comment below, please. And if you want to join Reconnaissance Study Group, come find me. Hiya Shalom. It looks like it says Chaya Shalom. It means life in Yah. And the peace that we're going to get is when we destroy the authority that's attached to our chaos. That's what we have to keep learning and love the truth. So, Shalom. Have the real kind of peace, not that the world gives you where they say, peace and safety. But when you know the truth will make you free. That's the real kind of shalom and the real kind of peace that we're supposed to have.